Alrighty, welcome back to Author&Z's YouTube channel. You probably can't see me, but you can see my my two bags that I've got here. This one and this one. I'm going to unpack them, we're going to see what's in them, and I'll talk about some things as we go. This is a list that I keep on the bag, and it's got some stuff that you may not necessarily think about if you're running out in an emergency, right? So we keep a list there so that if we've got some time we can come back, look at the list, and we can go back and we can get duvets or sleeping bags or more rope, or there's things here that'll change formula for the baby, bottles, nappy bag, things like that that you might not think about, but it's there on the list anyway, right? So this one, we've got a torch. I've got a date on here, March 2012. That's when I checked it last, right? So I've really only just been through it, but I didn't really fully unpack it. So front pocket in here, money, bit of cash. That's a fold up shovel, spade. We've got some backcountry stuff here, gloves, hand sanitizer. You guys in Christchurch will think of that, it's great. That's for helping start a fire. If you need to start a fire, it's cotton balls with some petroleum jelly rubbed into them, a bit of Vaseline to make it lights up really good. Some things for my wife. Some of you ladies down in Christchurch would have mentioned those. There's a bit of emergency ration food. I've got a survival book in here. It gives you a few tips on how to find water, how to purify water, how to find food, what sort of things. But it's an old army manual, but it's got a lot of useful information on what things around you can be useful, you know. Kleenex tissues. All through this bag, if there's any room left over, I've stuffed in plastic bags. So there's another little plastic bag. Those are some Kleenex tissues. There's a pack of cards, playing cards. When you open up the main bit, I've got a packet in here, it's an old takeaways container. It's got toothpaste, it's got aqua tabs for purifying water, it's got matches, a cigarette lighter, it's got a CD with some photographs and stuff that we want to keep on there. This is going to be a mess to pack up again. Toilet paper roll. There's a bag of rice, more food. And then we get into the tins. Those are soups. That's the handle for the shovel. Corn, cream corn. These have all got dates on them, right? March 2012, so that's this year. I've loaded this stuff up again. In there is plates and some knives and forks, things for eating. Again, there's plastic bags right through this. Bags can be used for making toilets, for getting rid of your rubbish, things like that. Now these I'm not sure about, but they are the raincoats from Bunnings. There's 4 of those, there's one each, and they're to keep the weather off, okay? They're really cheap. I think they're about $2 from Bunnings, so we've thrown 4 of those in there. Right down the bottom, there's more soup. 3 pack of spaghetti, March 2012 again, so I have only just redone this. We've got some baked beans. We'll add those over there. Hope all this is in shot. In here I've got some candles. We got married, my wife wanted to have candles on the tables, so I just kept them after the wedding. There's a few candles in there. I don't recommend using candles for emergency lighting. They're not entirely safe, but if that's all you got, then that's all you got, isn't it? What else have we got? Oh, I've got a headlight. This thing was pretty crappy. It doesn't even work, so we'll probably throw that out. Okay, so that's one of them. Like I said, the reason they're in 2 bags is because then my wife can lift them. If all this stuff was in one container, she probably wouldn't have a chance of moving it. Bit of rope. Down here, that's an emergency sleeping bag. We'll probably find a few more of those in here. Yep, and that one, same type of deal as that. There's some nightsticks, emergency blanket. There's probably emergency sleeping bag. There's another one of the food rations. This stuff's got quite a good shelf life. This is 2015, so basically this is 3,600 calories. You know, you're kind of getting down to the basics if you're eating this, but it's a bit of food. I've got a couple of them, they're in there. In 2015, if we haven't used it, I'll probably take it to work and eat it for smoko. Who knows, who cares, it's in there, it makes me feel better. In this little packet there's a few bits that you probably wouldn't use. There's a flint, there's a wire saw, they're quite handy. One of the, you know, the wire saws with the loops on. There's a whistle with a compass, just a few little survival bits. And look at that, another stash of bags. In here we've got hopefully more food. There's another backcountry cuisine. Gas can for the cooker. There's another roll of toilet paper. Now that was over the handle of the pot. You know, you can pack these things up pretty creatively. There's a little cooker. Goes on the gas can. Lives in there. Can opener. No good having canned food if you can't open the cans. There are a lot of ways of opening cans without a can opener, but why not have a can opener? Pretty easy. These are flares, you know, I'm a mechanic and we find these things in Japanese imports every now and then. I don't know if I'd ever use it, but it doesn't take up much space, so if you had to signal for help or mark off an area that was dangerous, then these little flares are quite good. There's another survival sleeping bag. So I think there's 4 in here, I should be able to find 4 of them. In my main first aid bag there's another 2 of those, so that's probably where they are. There's more bags. In here, duct tape, another gas can inside the pot. You know, pack the stuff inside each other so that you don't just waste space. That is a dynamo powered radio torch. This one is from, I'm going to get in trouble here, but this one is from surviveit.com, I think. And I don't think it works, I'm going to have to get rid of it. I've got another one that does work, but if you leave them and you don't crank them, and you leave them in here, you'll get them out, they don't work very well. In here I've got more candles and plastic bags. Okay, survival knife. Nice little blade. It's got a lanyard, hang it around your neck if you need to. Look at this, Christchurch. What's in here? A jar of Marmite. Personally, I don't eat the stuff, but we've got a jar of Marmite in there. That might be for sale on Trade Me soon. Pop that up there. Insulation tape. This cup. There's a coffee cup. All this stuff. Like I say, it's all packed so that it takes up as little space as possible. God, I'm going to hate repacking this. Soap. Another flare. More food. OXO cubes, okay, these can make, you know, you can just make soup out of that. Chicken OXO cube, bit of water, heat it up, better than eating water, isn't it? Real soup, again, this is all March 2012, it's all dated. More baked beans, more spaghetti, another flare, another cigarette lighter, and that is a 8-foot by 10-foot tarp, okay, so if I had to keep the rain off or we had to stay outside, I've got a rope, I've got a tarp, I can make some shelter. Or I can fix the hole where the chimney used to be. I haven't got a chimney, but if I had a chimney or a broken window or something like that, the tarp could be useful. Right, so that's it. That's what's in there. I believe that with this stuff, in a situation where I had to leave the house, myself, my wife, my 2 kids, we'd be okay for a few days. I've got 80 litres of water down here. I've got a bit of cash. You know, that's pretty much it. But in the house, I've got weeks worth of food. So like I said, I believe I'm always going to be able to get back in here to get stuff that I want to get. Things in the freezer are not going to be too good after a few days. But I've got a lot of tin food, I've got a lot of sachet food, rice, pasta, stuff like that that I can get into the kitchen, I can get. If I have to bug out for a few days, this is what I take with me. If I have to turn up at somebody's house, you know, if somebody turned up here and said, you know, we're here because there's been a disaster and can we stay with you? We've got nothing. They're going to see the short end of my gun. Someone turns up here and says, I got food, I got water, can my kids and I stay here? My door will be flung wide open, man. If you can come in and you've got your own stuff, support yourself, cool. I am never ever going to turn up at someone's house and expect them to look after me. So if I turn up with enough food to last for a few days and some supplies, I'm sure, you know, it would be a pretty mean bastard that would send you away. I've been doing a little bit of an experiment. I've got 3 cans over here. One of them is Waddy's cream corn. It's dated 10/08. That's a baked beans, which is 2009, and a spaghetti, which is 2009. Now, earlier this year, we opened and ate a baked beans that was 2008. So that was 4 years old, and there was nothing wrong with it. It needed to be stirred up. The sauce had separated a little bit, but when you put it in a pot and stirred it with a spoon, it looked just like baked beans do when you take them out of the tin. So I'm going to go, I'll keep this one. This is a 2008. I might try that next year, so that'll be 5 or 6 years old, and I'll post the results of the tests that I'm doing. You know, do your own experiments. A lot of people say, well, how long does food last? Well, the only way to find out really is to find out. So that's 4 years old now, so maybe a year or two we'll give that a go and see what it tastes like. You know, like everything else, this is an insurance policy. Hopefully we'll never use it. If we do need to, it's here. I feel better. Thanks for watching North NZ. Check back soon. There will be more. Okay, so just to finish off this series, or this video, food and water, right? So there's 80 litres there. I'm going to add to that. I'm going to probably make that 120. The people of Christchurch have said, you know, they say 3 litres per person per day. They reckon it's rubbish. You need double that, even more if you can afford to have more. Where I store my stuff, quite simply, is in the house. The reason for it is I think it's safe in here. I know how houses are built. This is a pretty well framed house. So I don't know what the light's going to be like, but this is just a hall cupboard, and turn the light on there. So if we have a situation where we got to go, if my wife can grab those 2 bags and get out, and she can grab a jug of water, she can get out, that's great. If she's got time, there's another stove, there's another container there with some more things in it that's useful. Sleeping bags, you know, they're all in the same place, and this is where they'd be anyway. So, you know, first aid bags up there. You know, I don't believe there's going to be a situation where I can't get back in to get this stuff out. Alright, so that's my take on it. Good luck, get started. If you haven't got any prepping going, get into it. Don't be put off by the name, you know. It's just a matter of being aware, making some good decisions. Cheers.